Welcome to World Business. The BOAF Forum for Asia, known as the Asian Davos, has taken place this week, with this year's forum themed Asia in the Changing World Towards a Shared Future. Now, the annual gathering of high-level officials, academics and business executives is held in the southern Chinese island province of Hainan. The four-day forum has attracted nearly 2,000 attendees from more than 60 countries. Laura Westbrook reports now from Hong Kong.
Well, Guy, among those attending the forum was Hong Kong's leader, John Lee. He said Hong Kong wants to deepen international exchange and collaboration. At the same time, though, he did acknowledge the challenges facing the world today, such as geopolitical tensions and global supply chain disruptions. He said Asia is an engine of global growth, and he did stress the importance of promoting multilateralism. Now, the forum forecasted that Asia's economy will grow by 4.5% this year. That's slightly higher than last year's 4.4%. The annual report said South Asia is set to lead the way with a gain of 5.9%. Despite growing global uncertainty, the report said that Asia remains a key engine of growth for the world's economy. However, inflationary pressure in Asia will slightly worsen this year, driven by rising wages, higher logistical costs, and supply chain restructuring and currency depreciation. The forum is taking place against a backdrop of global uncertainty from US President Donald Trump's trade wars. Trump imposed an additional 20% tariffs on all Chinese goods, and more tariffs are looming next month. China has responded with its own tariffs on selected US agricultural products and placed export controls on 15 American firms with ties to the defense sector. And not everyone was optimistic. China's former chief trade negotiator, Long Yong-tu, told the South China Morning Post that he was worried about the future of free trade because some major powers had moved away from multilateralism. Meanwhile, Bao's Secretary General Zhang Jun acknowledged that the world is undergoing profound changes, but he expressed his hope that this year's forum would send a strong message, one of unity, cooperation and resilience. Peng Sen, president of China's Society of Economic Reform, also weighed in, saying China should boost its domestic consumption to levels seen in developed countries over the next decade. His comments echo growing calls for China to rebalance its economy away from a reliance on exports. Laura Westbrook for A News in Hong Kong.
The BFA has become more indispensable than ever in today's fast-evolving global landscape. That's according to Professor Yan Kong Yam, Emeritus Professor of Economics from Singapore's Nanyang Technological University. Well, Professor Tan Kong Yam told A News why the BFA is so important for the global economy.
We are currently living through an era of profound global changes, marked by rising geopolitical tension, economic fragmentation, the climate crisis, and disruptive technological shift, all occurring simultaneously. In such a complex environment, dialogue platforms like the BOAF Forum for Asia has not diminished in importance. Rather, they have become even more indispensable than ever before. BOAF has a unique positioning. As a high-level dialogue platform centered on Asia, BOAF distinguishes itself from other international forums typically dominated by the West. It provides a valuable opportunity for developing countries, especially those in Asia and the Global South, to make their voices heard. BOAF Forum is critical for promoting regional cooperation, especially in key areas such as infrastructure, trade, green development, and the digital economy. The forum is a platform for soft power. In an increasingly multipolar world, BOAF helps build trust through dialogue. The overall outlook for China's economy continues to show strong resilience. Key sectors such as the advanced manufacturing, artificial intelligence, semiconductors, and clean energy are receiving robust policy support. The rollout of the digital renminbi and the development of smart logistics also indicate that China is actively positioning itself for future economic trends. In recent years, China's progress in the field of artificial intelligence has been remarkable. A particular note is the breakthrough achieved by DeepSeek, which stands as a concentrated expression of China's innovation capacity in AI. It is a result of the synergy between China's national technology strategy, vast market scale, institutional advantages, and global outreach. It not only signals China's growing global competitiveness in AI, but also positions China as a potential driver of the next global productivity revolution.
Well, continuing with the theme of Chinese connections, A News's Fariza Kalamazina reports now from Kazakhstan's biggest city, Almaty, where the country's textile industry is celebrating news of hundreds of millions of dollars in backing from Beijing.
China is investing approximately $400 million in the creation of a cotton and textile cluster in the Turkestan region of southern Kazakhstan. The project aims to implement a full production cycle from cotton cultivation to the manufacturing of finished textile products, including yarn, fabric, clothing, and other goods. The investor behind the project is one of the largest Chinese companies in the cotton industry, Xinjiang Livua Group. The Turkestan region is the only area in Kazakhstan where cotton is grown, making this project particularly significant for the development of the local economy. According to the Kazakh government, more than 50,000 hectares will be allocated for cultivation. The project will also see the construction of 10 factories and the creation of more than 4,000 jobs. The first of these factories, which will produce finished products, is expected to open its doors by October 2025. This project is just one example of China's growing influence in Kazakhstan. In fact, the number of Chinese companies operating in Kazakhstan has surged by 50% in the past 2 years. By the end of this year, bilateral trade between the two nations is expected to hit $43.8 billion, a 9% increase from last year. China is one of the top 5 largest investors in Kazakhstan. According to the press service of the government of Kazakhstan, 62 Kazakh-Chinese projects have been implemented to date, with a total investment of $8.7 billion, creating 11,000 jobs. Another 55 projects with a combined value of $13.5 billion are currently in progress and are expected to create more than 17,000 jobs. In total, 222 investment projects worth over $60.5 billion are being implemented in Kazakhstan. Fariza Kalamazina, A News, in Almaty, Kazakhstan.
Well, that is all we have time for on this edition. Please stay in touch with all the latest business news on anews.tv and across our social media channels. And join me again next week for more World Business.